welcome to another edition of Beginner Breakdown. I am your host, Mike Kummer, back from vacation in, well, working vacation, right? In beautiful Phoenix, Arizona. I got to live like the Duke of Earl down there. I got to climb a big mountain, and this is the view from the top, all right? So it was a lot of fun. And then after the event, I got to hang out with the US Open champion, Alexander Shabalov, 8.5 out of 9. Had a lot of fun, and there's Al Lawrence as well. So it was a lot of fun, but we do have some unfinished business here. I finally located the puzzle, the mystery puzzle from the National Open, okay? So here it is. There's two experts playing. It is black to move in this position, and I instantly see the win. White obviously just played the move, and this is a big hint, removing his rook from the back row to, I'm going to attack your queen. All right? So, yeah, true, he's attacking our queen, a 9-point piece. But we can do a slammer here. All right, does anybody have any ideas? Obviously, the expert couldn't find the move. I went up after the game and told him, hey, you know, you could have easily had a win here. Obviously, black's winning no matter what he plays. Notice white's queen is also under attack. But we don't want to trade, because that really doesn't get us anywhere, right? Well, he can do whatever. But okay, but that's not what we want to do. So big hint, right? Black just moved his rook off of the back row, leaving his back row vulnerable, right? All right, adjourn.
Didn't white just move his rook off the back row?
White did, yeah, right. So you have the move after all these hints?
I'm still calculating.
Okay. What about adjourn's father?
Queen A1.
Queen A1. Queen A1, unfortunately, doesn't work because queen takes rook, queen takes check, and then well, let's say check. And still doesn't work. But we're getting there. We're getting ideas. Yes, Kevin.
I think rook E1.
Rook E1, yes. Just try to defend the checkmate. It's impossible. I guess you could play queen takes E6 check just for fun, but but yeah, game over. Because obviously your king can't protect. This pawn can't move. This rook can't move. A rook to B1 would actually be the best move in that position. So that's that, and that's the puzzle I promised you. But now we're going to look at a tournament that Adjourn won, the Royal Rumble Bash. Okay. So here's a game from the Royal Rumble Bash. We got Motanya against Akshay. All right. So it's been a while since this tournament has taken place, and can't remember what happened. So you'll be just as shocked as me. Okay. So okay. Yeah, you know the result, Adjourn? No.
I almost lost Akshay when I
Oh, really? Okay. So word on the street is Akshay plays a pretty mean game. So I'm thinking that Akshay is probably the winner in this game, especially because up top it says 0-1. So okay, so Akshay. So let's watch it from the hero's perspective then, okay? Akshay. Okay. So E4, E5, knight F3, knight C6, knight to C3. Okay, a little bit passive. Doesn't help develop your queen side or your king side as well. All right. So he attacks the knight. Bishop attacks the knight. So he wasn't bluffing. He's going to take it and double the pawns. But first, he plays bishop takes, which is obviously a mistake because now black has an intermezzo, right? How does black easily win a pawn in this position? Adjourn. Bishop takes d2, check. I can't check you because I'm in check, right? So after queen takes, we'll just take. Okay.
But then he takes.
Oh, he takes this. All right, and then we got, no. How about right here? How about right here? You gonna play there? Yeah, where? There?
No, I mean.
Yeah.
Black wins
Yeah, black wins a pawn back, right? After d6, right? And if you're dumb enough to go there, check.
or the worst move ever.
What? F6. Yeah, right. But we'll just play d6 and, okay, so we're going to win a pawn. It's been decided. Okay, so let's see if he can figure this out. He can't. Okay, so takes. Knight attacks the pawn. So they attack back. Bishop pins the knight. Excellent. Castles. He gets castle as well. h3, obviously, black should play bishop h5. He doesn't. He takes the pin piece. And let's see if it works out. So it works out in this variation because you want to take a pin piece when you're going to win material. Obviously, he has 1, 2, 3 defenders of the pawn, but 2 attackers. We erase 1. If he really wanted to save his pawn, he could take it like that, but who really wants their king looking like that? Anybody? No. So,
Let's start like a few pieces.
so queen takes f3, takes, and now we'll take. And black is looking pretty good. And what is obviously under attack in this position? Because remember, just because you took a piece doesn't mean you don't have ulterior motives for wanting to be on that square, right? So,
E4.
e4, yeah, so e4 is under attack, Adjourn. What else is under attack?
E1.
e1?
A1.
a1. So let's move the bishop to a3 or something, or g5 or anywhere. Instead he attacks and see a rook. And queen goes there, attacks the pawn. And we attack the knight. Hey, he got the pawn back. Let's see if it's going to be enough compensation for that rook. I don't think it's going to be either. h6. Queen takes another pawn, so he's getting some things back. All right, so this was a good move by black here. He picked the right rook, because so if rook takes here, obviously we'll have another intermezzo, and we'll get that. No questions at this time. All right, so, all right, all right, what is your comment, Adjourn? Well, that's why let's just see it to believe it. All right. So he took it, and obviously it happened just as foreseen. Check. It's always good to check, and then yeah, even white here, he sees the mate, right? He sees the mate coming up. We'll bring another attacker in. Oh, all right. Adjourn sees an even cooler checkmate. Knight takes g3. Checkmate. Yep. All right. So maybe not the best game. But so as we see, we're going to see a lot of bad moves tonight. But then I'm going to shock you with the worst move, and you're going to be like, "Wow, that was the worst move of all these moves," and it was like it really was. Okay. So let's see, Mr. Zerome against Jacob. I'm going to bet that it's not the Jacob you're thinking of. It's a Jacob that played in the Royal Rumble Bash. Okay, all right, so Zerome's got the white pieces. All right, yeah, so just attack him. I like it. All right, so take, he attacks, it goes back to d6. I prefer just going all the way back to d8, but that's fine. All right, knight f3, c6, bishop e2. So look at that, a scholastic player playing bishop e2. And he's good. Can you believe it? Okay. So you can just slowly build up your attack. Just getting his pieces out. Bishop threatens the bishop. He takes it. You have no reason to double the pawns. All right, so look at this. So if Jacob was playing like white, you know, it's pretty much an equal position here. Maybe white has a slight advantage probably, but it was not much, okay, right? So the last thing black would want to do in this position is break open the center. Your king is in the center. This king is safe and castled, right? So ideas are like, you know, bishop here, knight f6, get control of that e4 square. The last thing you want to do is break open the center here. So, all right, so you get what you get. So knight takes, queen takes, and obviously we have two good moves here, right? One, we can threaten checkmate. Threatening checkmate's always good, right? Love threatening checkmate. And then also, king, queen on the same file, guess what we're gonna do? Pin it, right. So rook e1, excellent. See, white could, I'm not saying this is the best move, okay? I'm not saying that, okay? But we have ideas like this in this position. Just take the pawn. It looks humorous, but I mean, you know, we can do it. You know, you're just, by opening up the center when your king's there, you're letting yourself open to all kinds of attacks, okay? All right, so game over, okay? All right. Take with check. You know, you might as well just take it. I would just, well, no, there's no reason to take it. Let's just pile on, right? Let's see. I'm sure Zerome piles on, right? Yeah, just pile on. Now get castled, yeah. See, too late, buddy, yeah. Three late, too late, three late, yeah. So, and then the worst move, well, not the worst move, but that's pretty bad though. Yeah, so now, this is not back row checkmate. You can still play h6 or g6 here, but now it's all right. So, unfortunately, that move that I was going to show you that I thought was going to be the worst move did not compare to that move. That was a stunner. That's probably why I left out Jacob's last name, so it has some kind of anonymity or whatever. But I'm sure Ben Simon will correct that when he looks at the cross table. He's like, yeah, it was Jacob so-and-so. Look who we have. Oh, it might be an imposter, though. A perjury, not adjourn purry. Interesting. All right.
That was probably the first time I played in the first round.
Yeah, it was a battle for the coolest name, huh? And obviously, adjourn won because you know, he went 4-0 and won the title. All right, so it's Agastya against Aperjury. All right, so let's check it out. All right, so Agastya, as everybody should know, obviously, is was one of my students, or is currently. He still is. All right. He still is. All right, great.
He's white?
Yes, he is white. Agastya Diwan. So hopefully he plays good here. But this might be the game where he makes the worst move, other than obviously rook to e8, or rook takes e8. That was even worse. Yeah, I think this is the game. All right. So first off, in this position, right. This is why you always recommend, hey, move out your king side pieces first already, okay? Because, you know, you want, like that kid Zerome in the last game played bishop e2 here. You know, I might even play, you don't want to play bishop here, but bishop e2 might be fine. Bishop here, you know, one, it doesn't do much, and when he goes here, now you're just wasting time. And as Ben Feingold says, you know, if you're white and playing bishop d2, you know, you're doing something wrong, you know, and you definitely are. All right, so that was his first mistake. Now bishop to d3, d5, so takes. Hopefully he gets castled here, but he doesn't. Okay, so this is fine. So now double attack. I like it. So attacking that guy and that guy. All right, so this is one of Agastya's. I don't think he's going to blow this game. All right, so now he's attacking a bishop. He didn't see that the other bishop was attacked, so let's see if you can figure out that his light square bishop is attacked. Yeah, I didn't think so. I didn't think so. All right, so take. So that wasn't, your first round game probably wasn't your toughest game at Jern, okay, if Agastya's doing this to him, right?
No, it was my second round.
Second round.
Wait, who was I? Oh, yeah. My first round definitely won.
Oh, okay, yeah.
My fourth round probably won. My fourth and second.
Oh, okay, all right, good. All right, so now he's in a big bind here. I don't know how he's going to get out of it. I would love to hear from the audience to see, you know, if they have any ideas here. Because it's a joke, there's only one move you can do to get out of it. Yes?
F6.
F6,
But
right. Never play F6 unless it's a emergency. But even F6, does that even work? It still fails to that, right?
I thought they stopped.
So, and if he plays knight F6, obviously you just resign, right? You're playing really bad. And you're giving a bad name to the Aperjury family. I mean, all right. So that's Agastya. You know, he didn't play the best, but you know, if your opponent's just going to hang pieces, guess what? Just take them. You know, who won? Who do you think won in this position? Right. Yeah. Right. Because after but oh man, so he didn't see the winning combination. And the game unmercifully continues. Sorry, queen to f3, bishop takes, queen. Oh, you got a check in. That was good. So obviously we'll just bring the bishop back. And now he's like, okay, now I'll resign. All right. So luckily that one didn't go on that much longer. Okay. So let's check out what Zaromb is back up to, because did you get to play a Zaromb in the tournament? He played Wilson in the last round. Okay.
No, he didn't play in the last round.
Oh, okay.
I think he played him in the second round.
Got it. Okay. All right. So here's Zaromb. He's playing black this time. So we saw him how he played as white, pretty methodical, and so let's see how he does in as black. Yeah. Right. Okay. So e4, e5, f3. All right. So they're playing the Ruy Lopez, I guess. At least white is. Oh, so you're in a lot of trouble. So once again, you know, you're playing too aggressively in the center, and guess what? You're going to get taken advantage of real easily. There's probably two good moves here, but one's probably way better than the other. Yes?
Queen d4?
Yeah, it's got to be. Queen d4. The other idea is sack, but there's no reason to because you're going to just win this knight outright. So, but those are just other ideas in the position. But queen d4 is way better because if he tries to retreat to defend it, obviously we'll take it for free. All right. So ideas like this. And then take, and then take. So maybe, well, this is pretty bad for white as well, right? I'm taking all your stuff.
Yeah, and he has 2 extra ones.
Yeah. So those are some ideas to try to recoup, you know, your missing piece, but so what did he actually play is a mystery. I guess this is how the game actually goes. Okay, so he did my joke recommendation, knight to g4. And all right, so takes. And we got 3 on 1, so just take again. And it's not looking good for for white here. He almost has to take, right? All right, so queen f3. We do not have any smothered mates here, but this is going to be bad. You're going to be in that classic windmill position, so check. Knight takes check, so along the diagonal here. So now he should just repeat, right? Oh, he needs to go back, check, so king there. Check again. Check again. And then, you know, you can do this forever. And then if you really want it, you can check again and then go to knight f6, but you might as well get that extra pawn. Okay, but you don't let him out of that windmill so easy. All right, so knight f6, so he stopped, queen takes f7 check. But, all right, so rook checks, bishop up, attacks the queen. So you're up, you might as well consolidate, because you don't want to get checkmated. All right, so takes, rook e2. So this should be a pretty straightforward victory for black here. He's got 3 minor pieces and 2 rooks, and the guy only has 2 minor pieces. And it looks like he's up a pawn as well. So now he gets castled, attacks the pawn here. He sees it, or she sees it actually. White is a lady, and so he attacks. All right, so this is an attack that must be dealt with now. What's the easiest way to deal with this? Yeah, a5, right? Gotta be a5. But first he plays bishop to f5. I don't think I like. So after rook takes a5. Unbelievable. I'm thinking he's going to play h5 here. Okay. It's going to be a race. You're too good, Adjourn. You're too good. You're too good. Now, even better than me and Zerome combined. We had 2 moves, and you got the winning move. Yeah, okay. So yeah, obviously. So let's check out something, though. Well, okay. There's only one thing to consider here. After bishop takes, okay, I'm going to take Adjourn. Okay, and if you try to save your bishop here, but I think you're going to be too slow. How does that make you feel? I'd be pretty upset right now, right?
Yeah, this doesn't look too good.
All right. And then White's making a comeback. That's why, it's so easy in this position, right? He made a simple threat, a4, right? Oh, I'm going to play a5. And he's like, oh, I got all these cool little moves. When the easiest thing to do, especially when you're up, is just to avoid complications with a5, okay? But, okay. So takes, a5, rook takes e8, rook takes e8. And then after a5, he's in trouble. So bishop takes a5. Okay. So that was Zarom's whole point then. All right, so he takes. So he does get the knight back anyway. So maybe Zaromb had it figured out all along. All right. So c4, so trying to remove the defender of c7. So Chloe wants to put him in that windmill. Oh, Oh, yes, sir.
Go back and see if he's got a back row weakness there.
Okay, let's see how we exploit it, because this bishop has it covered right now.
Right. Go forward 2 moves.
Okay.
And there. Now knight f5.
Rook e7.
No, that's
Oh.
We're going to win a piece.
Yeah, that looks pretty good, Kevin. So yeah, once he removed
Gave that spot up.
the vendor of that square, knight f5 looks like a slammer. Because obviously, you know, rook e7 and boom, boom. Yep, there's no good good refutation to that. Good catch. All right, so but he's thinking about his own checkmate as well here. So rook takes check. He walks into the windmill. And now check. And then knight takes with his own check. See? So because it's not double check, it's a discovered check, right? See, discovered check. Black's king isn't checked by the bishop. So when he captures the bishop, now he is in check. You following? Yeah. So white, you might as well get the bishop for it, right? And then yeah, it's a pretty complicated position. So he took with check. He purposely walks into the windmill, knowing that she's probably going to play here, and then knight takes with his own check. And so we cannot take the rook because the bishop is delivering the check. And now, you know, it's resignable. And that's exactly what white does. All right. So let's see. The game Wilson, who came in second to adjourn, how he does against Agastya. Yeah, so Agastia got paired against Wilson was the number 1 seed, right? Yeah. Okay. So this was a pretty bad move that was played by Agastia. And unfortunately, it's not a quote-unquote blunder, but it's just a positional nightmare here that we want to see. Okay. So Agastia's got the white pieces. And they're playing the Sicilian, the exchange variation. Everybody's probably seen this a million times. Not you? Okay, it's fine. Okay, so bishop pins the knight. A bishop up protects it. So knight takes knight, that's fine. And so now bishop to d4, or c4, which unfortunately allows d5. But I'm sure Wilson's just going to play it. You might as well. If you can ever play d5 in the Sicilian without having to play d6, you're definitely doing something right. So that's what you really want to strive for. So he's in check. It blocks the check. So check. So everything's going pretty good for Agastia right now. He can just castle the safety and everything will be fine, right? And that's what he does. Excellent. Okay. So black should castle. All right. So let's hear maybe some ideas for white in this position. Anything? You know, in this position, you know, our knight's doing okay. Our bishop's doing okay. We could play a great move h3 and not have to worry about back row checkmates. We could play rook to e1. We could do all kinds of great stuff. Okay. But instead, he doesn't know what to do, unfortunately, in this position. So when you don't know what to do, what do you think you do? Trade pieces, okay? So in this position, right, where we could play h3, rook e1, you know, or we could play like push pawns, queen e2 maybe, and then get our rook on d1. You know, we got a lot of great ideas here. But unfortunately, when he takes here, I mean, look at that. Look at black's bishop in this position. Not very good, right? Look at him now. He's a monster, okay? So that was like one of the worst moves, you know, even though it doesn't look like, it's like, oh, he just tried a 3-point piece for a 3-point piece, you know. It's a really bad positional move for him. And now he's going to just deteriorate because this bishop is on the long diagonal, and he's going to crumble because of it. So rook e1. So right off the bat, a bishop could take and cripple his pawn structure, which might be okay. But Wilson knows my bishop is a monster, so even though I'm going to get that advantage, I want even more. So rook a to b8. So attacking the pawn that's, you know, protecting the knight. So he can't play things like b3. So what's the most embarrassing move you think Agastya has to make to defend the pawn here? Yes? Rook b1 or queen to c1. Let's see which one he picks. All right, rook to b1. Okay. Yes? Or queen to b1. Queen to b1 does not work, Adjourn. Right. Why doesn't queen to b1 work? Because obviously bishop takes the knight, and boom, rook takes the queen. Okay. So rook b1, and then just pile on. So now queen to d3. Does black have a tactic here? Let's see what the old computer says about rook takes b2.
Actually, now in that position, you can play knight d4 or d5.
Yeah, okay, so it just wants you to keep piling on.
Wait, what was this result?
Oh, knight e4. So in this position, right, white should just try to get out of all this nonsense with knight to e4. Excellent suggestion. Yeah, and that way he's kind of out of this this dreaded scenario. Excellent. All right, so queen to c6, rook to c3, and now it's not going to be good for him because he, just like in that first example I showed from the National Open, he just vacated, you know, the back row. You can't vacate that back row. That's why white should have played h3 when he didn't know what to do. Yes? Queen takes c3? Yeah. It doesn't matter. Bishop takes c3 is probably the best. Yeah. All right, and now, you know, all because, you know, Agastya, you know, instead of playing h3 or just putting his rook on a nice file, he just had a trade and led to a disaster. And now look, this bishop is still being, like, he's the MVP of the game. And Agastya, these are all unforced errors by him. Black has done nothing special in this game. Obviously, he saw the idea just pile up when he had the chance after that. But Agastya made the trade, got the bishop on the long file. Then he puts both his rooks on the same diagonal as the black bishop, and he pounces. So interesting. So black is already up a full piece here. You could take a rook for free. Let's see if it would matter. You need to just, you should be able to calculate that, that it's fine, right? Let's see what the computer says here. But he should easily be able to calculate that that's fine. Bishop takes c1 is plus 10. h6, everybody loves h6, is plus 6. Okay. Yeah, anyway, that bishop is so good, he might as well keep it. And this is going to be a pretty easy endgame for him to win. He's doing everything he can to avoid the back row checkmate here. And this is just, it's just like mop-up time here. I would probably play rook takes g2 here, or whatever. And that's the slammer. You know, the rook can't take because he's in a pin, and queen. And let's just see how he checkmates him real quick. All right. What do you like? What do you like, Adjourn?
We got 3 bishop takes g3.
Yep, attack the pin piece. He's going to get him in a mating net here. And then he's just going to checkmate him. But your way probably would have worked just as well, right? So queen f3 here, right? So white's king really can't move, right?
So we have to play f5 or b4 and then bishop takes b5.
You're just as good. Or you maybe even better. All right.
Much prettier.
Much prettier. Yeah, bishop checkmate. You don't see those every day. If you take a look at this position, right? Black is crushing here. All right, and black is going forward, up the board, okay? To make it even more confusing of what's going on. All right, so look at this. So this is something that Feingold has been really harping on lately. Is you have all this extra material, right? If you're even in a game, right? There's no way you would ever trade, a 9-point piece for a 3-point piece for no good reason, right? But when you're up so much material, you're like, I don't care. I got all the riches. I can just start throwing it away. It's a really bad practice to get into. And in this position, it's black to move, and it's mate in 9, okay? You probably get a queen, and then you just get another queen, and then boom, game over. Okay, but you'll see how, it's a scholastic tournament. His dad's probably watching. It's like, look at me, I can just humiliate the kid, okay? So that's really not a good idea. So in this position, here's how the game concludes, okay? So it's black to move, it gets a rook. Who wants a queen, right? So he moves. So yeah, I'll just take it, whatever. You don't need that pawn. I got it, okay? So just check him just to be funny, right? All right. So it's like, oh, I get this guy. So he moves, attacks the pawn, and guess what? Oh, I'll just take it. It's like, why are you playing like this? I mean, there's no reason. And he ends up getting the checkmate. But why do all that stuff? If you're promoting, get a queen. You do not have to sacrifice, that rook that he got for that pawn, because that pawn was in no danger of becoming a queen, right? Because the only way he can become a queen if he takes. So in this position, right, you just march it up, right, and get a queen, and just win. So to promote the queens, don't mess around. Don't give up a 5-point piece for a 1-point piece, then a 9-point piece for a 1-point piece. There's a time to clown around, and that's after the chess game, not during it, okay? So that was the Royal Rumble Bash. Here's some of the winners here. We got some photos here. That obviously is not the winner of the Royal Rumble Bash. All right, here's Agastya Diwan's older brother, Adi. He did well in the event. There's Jonathan Trent right over there, my faithful substitute. And Here's the kid that, if you can figure that one out, that's a kid that just likes to sack all his pieces in the end game to humiliate his opponents. Who else we got? There's Wilson. All right. Chaim, and of course, the champion of the Royal Rumble Bash. And they actually decided to take the picture where they can actually tell who he is. There's Adjourn for the championship. Good job, Adjourn. All right. And okay, so hopefully we learned some stuff today. I certainly did. Thanks a lot, everybody.